strike, day 3 strike. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen of the press. First of all, thank you very much for joining us this afternoon for this briefing on day 3 of this unlawful industrial action by CALPA. Let me take this opportunity, first of all, to apologize once again to the very many passengers, our customers, who we have inconvenienced because of this unlawful strike. And we would like to assure them that we will continue doing our very best to help to connect them to their destinations, and also for our cargo passengers, cargo customers, to get their wares to where they are supposed to be. I would also like to thank very much my staff, who have worked tirelessly and are very exhausted trying to connect the passengers, talk to the passengers, and make sure that they are as comfortable as they should be in this place, and also to get them alternative accommodation. So thank you very much, KQ staff. Thank you for your loyalty. Thank you for your commitment. Thank you for your patriotism to this country. So as of today, when you look at the passengers update, by 2 p.m. this afternoon, we have already restored about 20% of our network. This is about 18 flights out of JKIA, that's from here, carrying about 2,000 passengers to Addis. That is 2 flights, to Johannesburg, to Entebbe, Mombasa, 2 flights, Dar es Salaam, Harare, Lusaka, and then London. So we are happy about that. Tomorrow, we estimate that we'll be able to have crewed at least 30% of our flights. So slowly but surely, we are getting back to normal. We have also reduced the number of disrupted passengers from 12,000 to 9,000 by working either directly through these flights that we're able to crew, and also through our partner airlines like Jambojet. Unfortunately, we have had to cancel 47 flights today because of lack of crew. We still have about 500 of our passengers who are accommodated in various hotels in Nairobi. This is because some of our guests who were to depart from to various destinations are still waiting for their connections. And so we have about 500 of them in our various hotels. From a cargo point of view, because of the flights that we have been able to crew, we have also therefore been able to uplift about 25 tons of cargo. Remember, we normally uplift upwards of 150 tons of cargo. So from a strike perspective, so far, we have about 20 pilots who have availed themselves for duty. We thank the pilots who continue to support the airline's operations. For pilots who haven't reported on duty, we have initiated disciplinary process, like I said yesterday. At the same time, we have also advertised today for recruitment of pilots, both captains and first officers. So we'd like to urge Kenyans and other pilots who would like to join us to please apply. You will see it in both LinkedIn and other areas. So far, there is a phenomenon we have seen. We've seen 132 pilots who have registered with our operations team to be unfit to fly. So unfit to fly, meaning that they have now called our operations department and have said that they are unfit. In other words, they are unwell to fly. And as part of the CBA, they are allowed to do that for 48 hours. They have a 48-hour window without providing any evidence of sickness. Suffice to say, 132 pilots being sick is, of course, abnormal. It is out of work completely with the normal trends. So we believe that this is a means of trying to avoid coming to work. That's what we believe. And to protect themselves against disciplinary action. So we've been able to read through that. It's quite obvious what they're trying to do. And part of this 132 is also the CALPA officials. who have done that. So that is just a brief statement of where we are today. We have said before that we are ready to talk to CALPA. However, now time has changed. We want them first to go back to work with immediate effect before we can have any discussions whatsoever. In any case, like I said, we've already started disciplinary action, and we've already started recruiting new pilots. So those who are still interested in working with Kenya Airways should very quickly report back to work with immediate effect. That is the end of my statement. We leave it open because we've started the disciplinary process, so we don't know how many of them will exit. So it's open for now. I have just said there is no negotiation. I want them to go back to work because they're costing us a lot of money. They're sabotaging this country. They have been belligerent. They were trying to hold us hostage. And now I'm saying, let them go back to work before we have any other discussion. Because the longer they stay out there, the more we don't have money to pay even their salaries. So they need to go back to work if they want this airline to continue functioning. It does not show bad faith. They have refused to come back to work. How do you expect us as an airline to continue functioning when people have unlawfully refused to come back to work? Number one. Number two, we have repeatedly, not once, not twice, I don't even know how many times we've told them, please come back to work. So how can it be that it's bad faith while we have told them repeatedly, come back to work so that we can continue operating, so that we can talk? Right now, it is, it's very late right now in the day. So all we want from them now is to come back to work. Once they're at work, we can start discussions. Let me just be clear. You see, there comes a time when it's very difficult for you to have discussions with people who are belligerent. Okay? We have given counter offers upon counter offers upon counter offers. Now, I'm beginning to wonder what exactly is the purpose of this strike. Okay? There might be another motive to this strike. Because if we have given concessions and we are saying we're ready to talk further, please come back to work. They themselves, CALPA themselves, to their members, in a message that I saw, were saying that we were 90% agreed. So if you're 90% agreed and we're telling you to come back to work so that we can save this airline money, and then you refuse, what do you expect us to do? We have got to find a way of surviving. We cannot be held hostage forever. So that's my point. Yeah, so what we're doing now is, for now, like I said, is to try as the much we can to connect them using our partner airlines, using the few flights that we have mounted, okay, in the best possible way we can. There are other things that are also in the background that we're trying to do to try and get extra capacity for us to fly these passengers. Now, the reputational damage that you referred to is true. We will have to rebuild our reputation because of what has happened because of this strike. But that will have to be a slow one. Yes, it is true, we are suffering, but there is no way we can get into discussions with people who have refused to budge even an inch. No, that's the other thing. You see, they have disobeyed a lawful court order. That's the other problem. They have disobeyed. And not because they didn't know that it was a court order, but because they thought that it is okay to disobey a court order. So we have gone to court and we have filed contempt proceedings against them to say this group of CALPA officials have disobeyed a lawful order that came from this court. And as a result of that, they have cost us millions of shillings, not just in loss of revenue, but also in terms of reputation and all that goes with that. It will take a long time. It's going to be a painful process. But listen, sometimes you have got to take a pain to make a step forward. You cannot be held hostage. Actually, this is a very dangerous trend. If we allow this to happen in every sector, we as a country will be in trouble. We cannot allow a few people, just because of lack of understanding or being selfish, to hold the country hostage. We have got to break this at some point and say, let's take the pain now, but prepare it for posterity. Because we have a country to run. We have an airline to run. Yeah, so it's going to be expensive. It's going to be painful. But, you know, unless the pilots realize that, okay, we're in trouble as a country. I mean, they tried this in 2016. we buckled, right? Some of the problems we're experiencing now is because of that. This time round, we are saying to them, go back to work for this moment. Your problems that you have presented, some of them are valid. We'll address them. We have even tried to start addressing them, but you cannot hold us hostage. You cannot hold these passengers hostage. Okay? It's not fair. It's not fair to the passengers. It's not fair to us. It's not fair to themselves. It's not fair to other employees. Our employees are tired. They have been working flat out to try and address this situation.
The couple officials are saying that Kenya Airways management has refused to sit down with them.
That is a lie. That is a lie. Unfortunately, I'm sorry, I'm using a very strong word. Okay, that is untrue. That is the right word to use. That is untrue. And you have read the Ministry of Labour. Have you read the Ministry of Labour statement? It is very clear. That's the reason they released it, because they spent many hours with us. We were there. We conceded. CALPA did not concede 1 inch. And that is why we are saying it feels like this strike has other motives. Because if someone sits with you and they give you concessions, there's an arbiter there who's saying, we can continue these discussions. I will oversee. This is an independent arbiter, and you're still holding to your views. Then it's very difficult. So that particular propaganda they're using, it is management who is refusing to sit down, is a lie, because it has been dispelled by the Ministry of Labour. You saw the CS released a statement yesterday. Both the Ministry of Labour and the Ministry of Transport released independent, both of them, to say it is CALPA who are being difficult. No, I mean, I don't want to go into that. At the moment, all I can say is that we filed a suit this morning for contempt. But like I said, we lost a lot of money, right? So people have to be held personally and jointly responsible for the losses and damages to this country, to this airline. Ladies, thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. No. Disciplinary action is not just firing. Disciplinary action is fair. Okay? We've been accused of being unfair, right? Well, we want to demonstrate that we are fair. We will sit down and find reasons why. First of all, one, they participated in an unlawful strike. Secondly, why they disobeyed lawful orders by their superiors to come to work. There might be valid reasons. We'll listen to those, okay? And then we will follow our HR procedures. So disciplinary action does not necessarily mean just firing people. Okay, it means taking you through a process, a fair process that you'll be had, and then we'll take action. Okay, thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen.